Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And I do mean welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
Travis, we were talking about this before I started recording. When was the last time we recorded live face-to-face?
I'm going to assume it was early February.
Yes, there was definitely snow on the ground still.
Yeah.
And I remember it still being dark when you got here, which is usually around 8 o'clock in the evening. And now it's summer. Nearing the end of summer, getting close to the end of summer.
Don't be a naysayer like that.
But yeah, it's amazing how, luckily I had a few games recorded, a few matches recorded, and then I took some time off from the channel completely to begin with. But yeah, these are the new Core Set 21, or Core M21, Core Set 2021, Planeswalker decks, the monocolored ones. There are 5 new ones. It took me forever to get my hands on these ones because... with certain issues, with that which shall not be named, because if you say a certain word that begins with C and ends with a number in your videos, certain algorithms do certain things to your videos. So, yes, crazy. So it took a while to get these in because there was shipping issues. So normally I can get them in like the Monday afterwards if I have to order them, or a lot of the times I would go to the store on the pre-release weekend and just grab them. Couldn't do that this time. So it took a while. Finally got them. This and also the Arena Starter Kit. So sometime in the future, Travis and I are both going to hop online on Magic Arena, and we're going to play the Arena Starter Kits on Magic Arena. Because those come with physical decks. They come with physical decks, but they also come with codes that you can use twice. You can use it for yourself and share one with a friend, and both of you are going to get both of the decks. There's a mono green and a mono black deck, I believe. So we'll be doing that as a sort of online version of the Mana Cave coming up sometime in the weeks ahead. But for now, we are playing 2 of the new Core Set 21 Planeswalker decks. Which are you playing?
I am playing the Chandra deck. Of course, mono red.
Mono red.
One of my faves. And you are playing the gold deck?
Yes, I am playing... Well, it's actually white, but it is Basri. Sorry, not Basari. Basri. He is a new Planeswalker.
So you'd be sorry about your mispronunciation of Basari.
I'm going to make you Basari, you ever played me. Oh, it's been forever. And this is a mono-white deck. And the main themes behind this one are life gain, which I know is shocking in a Planeswalker deck, a white Planeswalker deck, for life gain to be one of the main themes, but also a +1/+1 counter sort of theme to it as well, too.
Yeah. This one seems to have a heavy focus on spell casting more than just aggro creatures or lower costed creatures. Not that there aren't aggro and lower costed creatures, but it seems to be real. Again, if there's a sub theme, it's casting spells and getting bonuses from that.
Yeah. They burn, a lot of burn in it, sort of thing. And I did count.
Well, those are red spells.
The 2 of the decks have just, I think 2 or 3 of the decks, I'm not sure exactly, have 7 non-creature spells. Normally, Planeswalker decks are very creature heavy.
Yeah.
The Chandra one has
11, I think.
I believe so, yeah. That and the Teferi deck have the most non-creature spells of any of these sort of Planeswalker
Which
decks.
does seem different for a Planeswalker deck.
Yeah, and I was kind of worried when I sort of looked through that and started seeing all these cards that had to do with either non-combat damage or non-creature spells in order to buff other creature cards. I was getting worried because I'm like, there's not usually many non-creature spells in these decks. But luckily they did sort of stack that one with a few more. And a few useful ones as well, too. Low cost. So I'm between the 2 of them, I'm kind of favoring Chandra in this matchup, but, you know, I could be surprised.
Because life gain and burn, sometimes not a great matchup there.
Yeah, that's why I was sort of excited to have these 2 sort of pair against each other, because I think that might be a good sort of like offset to each other.
Yeah.
This is going to be part of the 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown, which we were doing. And it was so long ago that we did a couple of the other rounds. But we're going to be playing Basri versus Chandra for this round. We're also going to be playing Liliana versus Garruk. It's Garruk, right?
Garruk, something like that.
Garruk or Garruk. So that's the mono black and mono green decks. They're going to be playing each other. And then Teferi is going to get a bye. The mono blue deck is going to get a bye, and he's going to play whoever wins the follow-up match between the winner of this one and the winner of the Liliana Garruk matchup. So And then we're going to be into the finals. So we have all the decks now we need to finish off the 4th season of the Planeswalker Deck Showdown.
Because that's all the Planeswalker decks that are coming out, I think, for the 4th season.
Until the next core set, as far as I know. Every time there's a new core set, there's going to be, I think, 5 new Planeswalker decks. So that's pretty much the only time we're going to be able to do this, other than during when core sets come out. There's still probably going to be Challenger decks every year, which we'll be looking forward to doing that. We are going to try to do some Commander. We may end up doing just some 1v1 Commander. We may try to do some more Brawl as well, too. 4v4 Commander, especially given the climate right now, may be a little more difficult to get. It was already difficult for us to try to get 4 people together to do it, and the logistics of recording, that sort of thing. Now it's especially difficult for us. But maybe we can figure it. I know some people have been playing Commander online. Matt from Total MTG, I know he's been doing some of that online as well, too. So we may try it that way, who knows. But yeah, once these are done, though, once this Planeswalker deck season is done, I promise you, because there's so many people who've been waiting for this, we are going to finish off the Guild Kit Showdown. It's gonna happen. I ended up making that way too many matches, but we will finish that, I promise you. So for those of you who've been waiting patiently for like a year now, we will finish that after the Planeswalker.
I guess it's been a year because I was Ravnica.
Yeah. Time flies.
Oh yeah.
Time flies. So anyways, that I think is more than enough talking. We probably did more talking at the beginning of this one than we have in a while, but it's also been forever.
Months.
Yeah,
months
exactly.
and months.
So forgive us. There was also something on the screen showing you that when you can click on to the actual start of the game. And speaking of the start of the game, Travis.
Yes.
Did you mulligan?
I didn't mulligan.
Neither did I.
I got a solid 6. I like them.
We've not rolled to see who goes first.
Nope.
Beat a 6.
I got 7.
That does
so
it.
we're clear. It's not.
That does it.
Sean,
That does it. We're going to move these aside.
You keep your dice handy because you got counters of galore going on.
Yes. And possibly I have some tokens set aside just in case I need to create some tokens. So, Travis.
I think you should just go for that. That should be your goal is forget trying to win. Just make this one impossible thing happen.
Our opening hands, by the way, will have already been shown. You'll have seen them all, so you may now begin anytime you would like.
Well, I'm going to pick my sexiest mountain. That one. It's a mountain.
Okay.
Play mountain for turn. I'm going to tap that mountain right away for a turn 1. Blister Spit Gremlin from the Ikoria set. What, I pronounced that right?
Blister Spit?
Blister.
No, I believe you.
No, maybe double check me. Don't believe me.
It's just that some of the names of some of these cards. Yeah. There's one in the green deck. We'll talk about that when we get to the green game. Anyways.
It's a gremlin, not a goblin. It's 1/1 for 1 red mana. You can tap 1 and tap it, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, as we mentioned earlier, lots of non-creature spells, you can untap it. So you can kind of combo into a few.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of times you get this effect with red creatures. This one is actually in a deck I built, Commander deck, of course, for Obosh because it's a odd mana costed and it doubles damage on odd mana cost. So that's why I like it. A lot of these, actually, I went looking for them. A lot of this effect is a 2-mana effect on creatures, and they're usually like a 0/4 wall or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this one's perfect because it's 1 mana. Also, it's a turn 1 play.
There we go.
Big explanation for
it. Doesn't actually have Defender, though, this one, right?
Not Defender, not Haste.
Okay.
And you have to spend, unlike most of them, you just does the damage. This one, you have to spend 1 and tap it.
Okay.
So it ties up your mana a bit, but, it does count as non-combat damage, too, which affects other things in this spell. And
we talked an awful long time about a 1-drop.
You were impressed by my 1-drop, okay?
Is it a 1-drop?
Yeah, how can that be 1-drop?
Because
I dropped 1 land, dropped 1 card.
Because there was something about 1-drop means something I think different than how I thought 1-drop. I thought 1-drop simply meant a 1-cost creature, or spell. But apparently 1-drops are either just creatures or just spells. I'm not sure. Inform us in the comment section. You guys usually know more.
I've been
more
using
about
the term
as
a one.
So have I. So yeah. Anyways, we're still talking. Okay, my turn.
Over to you, sir.
Okay. Excellent. I'm going to play this Plains, and I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Okay. You don't have 1-drop that you can go on and on about? I'm going to draw my first mystery card. Okay. I will play a mountain.
Excellent.
It's a good play.
It is.
Then I'm going to... I guess I'm going to go to combat.
Okay. Swinging for 1?
Swinging for 1.
Any shenanigans?
You know what? I'm going to shenanigan.
Go for it. Shenanigan
away. This is a waste of a card in theory, but I will tap 1 to cast Infuriate.
Ooh.
Target creature gets +3/+2 until the end of turn. So it's actually going to make it into a 4/3.
Yes.
And whenever I cast a non-creature spell, untap Blister Spit Gremlin. Spit.
So I'm taking 4 right now in combat
4
damage.
right now.
Okay, so I'm down to 16.
And then I'm going to put a dice on top of my deck and leave 1 mana up and my Blister Spit up. Now, obviously, you probably want to save that for like a combat trick and trade to the creature, but you know what? This thing's supposed to work one way. I want to do it.
It's a red deck. Aggro is not usually the wrong way to go, so yeah.
Pass to you.
Pass to
with
me.
my mysterious other possible play in head. Could be a shock, you know? I don't think shock's in this deck. It should be.
Yeah, there is actually shock. Shock is one of the cards in the deck. That's why I was kind of happy about it, because it had some nice low-cost instant speed cards to work well with cards like that. So, play Planes, and I'll pass the turn to you.
On your end step, good sir, I have some wacky shenanigans. I'm going to tap 1, tap my Blitterspit, tap my Gremlin, and deal 1 damage to each opponent.
To each opponent.
I only have 1 opponent right now.
So I'm taking 1. On your end step,
Oh, you're going to
or
gain life.
on my end step, I guess now, after that's been tapped, I'm going to tap for 2, and I'm going to cast an instant speed spell, Swift Response. Destroy target tapped creature.
Destroyed my Gremlin?
Because I was
He had
not...
so much work yet to do.
I wasn't planning on using this card on that, but it's now done 5 points of damage to me on, like, you know, basically a single full turn.
Yeah.
Between your turn and my turn, so I figured let's get rid of it now.
So stack-wise, could you have, the second he was tapped, could you have cast it before the damage went through on his behalf?
No, because once he
Okay.
taps, the damage is on
His
the
effect's
stack.
happened, okay.
So, but what I didn't want to do is I wanted to make sure you're tapped out for it. Because the last thing I wanted to do was cast it, and then you have still 1 mana up, and then you could shock and then untap, in which case the spell would fizzle. So,
No, makes sense.
yeah. Pass turn to you.
That was a big end step for like second turn. For turn 2, untap, draw.
I'm already done a 15 life on turn 2.
I like it. I play my 3rd land. What I don't like is now passing the turn to Ed.
Ooh,
I had
nice.
so much to do with that Gremlin.
Yeah, I made the right choice. Okay, I'm going to play a Plains. And I'm not going to have my plane. Why was I have my land up there like a psychopath? I'm gonna move my planes back a little away from, because all I had to play was my land, and I'm gonna pass the turn to you.
Alrighty then.
I apologize to all the psychopaths out there who do put their land up front.
I don't. Okay, I played the magical land of 4th Landia. Alright, we'll tap all 4 of those lands
Okay.
to play the Carol Keep Disciples. It is a 4/3 monk. It's a pretty big deal in this game. Whenever you activate the loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. I mean, the secondary ability, if I get Chandra going, is a nice little bonus, but I mean, a 4/3 for 4 is not terrible. No haste, so back to you, sir.
Back to me. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to play Plains. I'm going to tap for 4, and I'm going to play Sigiled Contender. It's a 3/3 human warrior. It has lifelink as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. And it does not have a +1/+1 counter on it, so it does not currently have lifelink. I will now pass the turn to you, sir.
Lifelink. Sad man. Burn and lifelink, it can be a very frustrating combination. Untap, draw. Play the magic land of 5th Landia. I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to pass right through combat.
Okay. Okay.
That may come back to bite me, but I'm going to tap out because I really want to play this enchantment.
Okay.
It is a 5 mana costed enchantment. 3 red, 2 red, 3 of anything for double vision. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So you can see how well that could potentially work in this deck.
Yikes.
Potentially.
Okay.
But it took me a turn. I could have attacked and bluffed into it, but I kind of want this creature to stick around a bit maybe until I can do some, other shenanigans. Yeah, so I'm passing to you now. Tapped out.
Passing to me. Okay. So
Lots of potential on the board, but...
untap. Okay. I will play a Plains. I'm going to tap for 4 to cast Basari's Lieutenant. It's It's got Vigilance. It also has Protection for Multicolored, which is not going to come into effect when we're doing these core set 21 decks. But when the Lieutenant enters the battlefield, I can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature I control. So I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on the Contender, who is now... we've got lifelink because he has a +1/+1 counter on it.
See?
Whenever Basri's Lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white night creature token with Vigilance. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to move to combat, I think. And I'm going to swing in with the now 4/4 Sigiled Contender.
Oh, yeah. Of all the plays, I mean, I should have seen it coming. I knew he had +1 counters. I probably should have taken the trade earlier on, but now I regret it because I don't want to trade just yet. Okay. So I'm taking 4 lifelink damage. Oh, that's an 8-point life swing. 8 points.
It is, yes. So I'm going to go up 4.
Drop down to 16.
I go back up to 19. And I'm going to pass the turn to you, please.
Okay.
Not please. I'm just going to pass the turn to you, whether you please or not.
Untap. Draw. Okay. Okay. Now I should start thinking about crackbacks and such, but with lifelink and all. Calculate a potential scenario here.
Calculating. That's on my GPS. Recalculating.
It's British?
Yes. Yes. I don't think it was originally, but I wanted it to be.
Okay. I need a blocker with lifelink. So
okay.
To waste that turn to get that enchantment out and then not use it, I pass to you.
Pass to me? Okay.
Oh, sorry. I would have played my land.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's no problem. No problem. Okay, so my turn?
Yes, it's your turn. I'm getting my lands. You know,
Gonna draw.
I wish I had my gremlin.
I'm going to play a Plains.
You're getting your lands in too.
Can you read me its ability again, the creature?
Its ability is only relevant with a Chandra Planeswalker. So whenever I activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 3, and I'm going to cast Banishing Light. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. Now, there is definitely a argument to be made for doing this in the enchantment, but I'm going to get rid of the creature because it's the blocker.
Yeah.
So I'll just, let's put that over there with that over there. And
Theros.
Then we'll move to combat.
Yes.
I'm good. This is Vigilance. This does not, so I'm going to swing in with both of them.
I'm taking a solid 7.
7. And I get 4 life back, so I'm up to 23.
Drop down to 9. Sorry, voice getting a little shaky there. Because the problem with those lack of creature spells is you don't have something to necessarily cast on your cool non-creature spells on creatures.
I'm going to tap for 1 more. I'm going to bring out the Anointed Chorister. So it's a 1/1 lifelinker, and I can pay 4 and 1 white, and it gets +3/+3 until the end of turn. Pass the turn to you.
It's kind of a big draw here. Pass back to you.
Oh no!
See, I'm wondering if I decided to switch my usual gameplay of aggression at one point. Like, I should keep a blocker back and use some non-creature spells with that, when I probably should have been playing a little more aggressively.
I'm going to play Plains. So right now, I'm representing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then with an extra ability there, I'm going to... what I'm going to do is... I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to tap for 4 instead. And I'm going to bring out Basri's Acolyte. It is a 2/3 cat cleric. It's got lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, I can put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures I control. So I'm going to put 1 on the Lieutenant, and I'm going to put 1 on the Anointed as well, too. And then I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with everything, including the Lieutenant, which does, once again, have Vigilance.
Right.
Vigilance.
Well, all I have is stuff to buff my own creatures.
Oh,
I have
man.
really good stuff to buff my own creatures, but I don't have a creature to buff. And that happened a lot sooner than I thought it would. I thought, you know what, my gremlin, I'm not going to say blister spit, he took the hit. I got a big, powerful creature that I can give buffs to. I can double buff. Now I wish I at least would have attacked, because at least it would have looked cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I guess the sort of flip side of them putting more non-creature spells into one of the Planeswalker decks is that when you're facing off against more creature-heavy decks, that could be a problem. So, and I did have the 2 bits of removal I needed in order to
Didn't even
turn
get
the tide.
Copy one spell off that 5-mana enchantment.
But still, it's the first game of a best 2 out of 3, so you do have a chance possibly to play that and use its ability.
And not run into removal.
And not run into removal. And we're going to find out how you do right now. And we're back. Travis,
yes,
did you mulligan?
No, I think it's a good hand. I think it's a good choice not to mulligan despite some things about it.
I did mulligan, and I think it was a good choice to mulligan because I only had 1 land. And as you guys can see from the hand that's appearing right now, I think this is better than a 1-land hand. So I lost the first game. No, I won the first game. It's happened so rarely. I will allow you, because it's all based on whether I allow you to or not, I will allow you to go first because you did lose.
Both the arts on my mountain are the same, so I'm just going to play my mountain.
Okay.
One was neither section nor the other. I have no blister spit to play.
It should be noted that there is one sexy land in each of these Planeswalker decks. They did do one sort of tricked out looking land, which is really nice. Would have been nicer to do all of the lands, which cost just as much to print up in that fashion for Planeswalker decks. Maybe give something special to the Planeswalker decks. But
then wouldn't it increase the... I don't know.
I don't care at this point. I just wanted something nice. Anyways,
something.
Yeah.
I have no follow-up, no cool turn 1 to talk about.
No.
So
okay.
I pass back to you.
Alrighty then. That's fine. And then the die goes on top. The die goes on top. I will play my planes. I don't know why I keep putting it up there like a crazy person.
Crazy better than psycho.
Back here, yes. Well, you know. I will pass the turn out to you.
Okay. I'm going to draw. I'm going to play a mountain. Now, those who saw my opening hand know that I have 2 choices here. And they're both solid choices. I think I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to tap 2 to play Chandra's Pyreling. So both of them had merit. This is a 1/3 elemental lizard, and whenever a source I control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Pyreling gets +1 and gains double strike until end of turn.
Nice.
Yes. So would work really nicely with the blister spit, because that would be a source I control dealing non-combat damage and such, but it is not currently with the blister split and does not have haste. So thus I pass to you. But it's pretty cool. Nice art too.
I'm very happy with the artwork on these cards that I've seen from so far from M21. Not all these cards are from M21 though, as far as I know.
No. You have some Theros. I have some Ikoria.
Okay, so I played a Plains. I'm going to tap 2. I'm going to bring out the Adherent of Hope. It's a 2/1 human soldier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a Basri Planeswalker, which I do not, put a +1/+1 counter on Hope. On old Hopi here.
See, really, to balance it, it should say unless it doesn't have a +1 counter on it, so you can't just keep stacking those counters.
No. I mean, if the hoop you have to jump through is have Basari out there,
yeah, a 7 mana cost is probably or 6 or something. Yeah,
then that's good enough for me. I will pass the turn out to you.
Untap. I'm going to draw. Play a mountain.
Okay.
Here come some surprises now. Going to combat.
Go for it.
Swinging with my elemental lizard.
I do not block.
You do not block.
Shall you shenanigans, sir?
I shall shenanigan.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shock you.
Okay, for 2?
For 2.
So I'm taking 2 now. I'm down to 18.
So I have had a source of mine dealing non-combat damage to a player.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to give him a +1/+0. So it becomes a 2/3 with double strike. So 2 and then 2 more.
Okay, so take 4 on top of that. So I'm down to 14. See, I thought your start last time was pretty good. This is just as good. I'm down to 14 and it's turn 3.
And then I'm going to tap 2 to cast the Heartfire Immolator. So it's a 2/2 with prowess, and I can pay 1 red, sacrifice the Heartfire Immolator. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker.
What's the prowess again?
The prowess is whenever I cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1.
Okay. So until the end of turn, right?
Until the end of turn, yes. It doesn't get a counter or anything like that.
Okay.
These 2 were basically, I was trying to think, it's a fine line. They're both going to work with the spell. But I thought you're more likely to have a blocker later on, I thought. So I would want to hit you. If you didn't have a blocker, it's easier to hit you, choice to hit you with the shock earlier, which would give that. Yeah.
Makes sense. That does make sense.
There's a little bit of sense making there. I mean, it's not like the Royal Canadian Mint, which makes a lot of sense.
I missed you.
It's your turn.
I missed you,
Did
man.
you miss that? It's so good.
Canadian content too, eh?
Just get a nickel for that. And where's that nickel going to come from?
I'm going to play a Planes. I thought you were going to make a Nickelback joke. And I'm going to...
They're no joke.
Turn these 3 sideways and cast the Makeshift Battalion. It's a 3/2 human soldier. Whenever Makeshift Battalion and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a +1/+1 counter on Makeshift Battalion. Well, that's pretty much all I'm going to do is cast that and do nothing. So I'm going to pass the turn now to you.
Untap. Draw. Okay. We're going to go to combat.
Okay.
Both the Elemental Lizard, Chandra's Pyroling, and the Heartfire Immolator are attacking.
Right. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, because that has prowess, I'm just going to put the Makeshift Battalion in front of that one.
Okay.
As far as blocker goes. And then this one's going to stay back, stay out of the fight.
Okay. So, I'm going to start by tapping 1 to shock you.
Okay, that's going to happen. So I'm down to 2. So I'm down to 12. I'm down to 12, not 2.
Prowess
The Twiggas. Prowess Twiggas. Travis.
It's a 3/3.
Okay.
It's
a Twee.
It's a Twee. And his effect is he's now a 2/3 double strike.
Yes.
I'm then going to infuriate him, giving him +3/+2.
Okay.
So
now, is it every time you cast a non-creature spell? Or is it whenever I take non-combat damage for this one?
So he can't get more double strike, I don't think. But maybe his power. Whenever source you control... No, so the source did its damage thing.
So it's not going to get an additional +1 to it that way as well, too. Okay.
No, but this will get an additional +1 from the prowess. So there's now a 4/4.
Yes.
And this is a 5/5.
Okay. With double strike.
With, pardon me, yes. So one plus was 2, +3, 5/5 with double strike.
5/5 with double strike. Okay.
So that's 10 damage, and this will survive.
Okay, so I take 10 damage. Is there anything else you want to do?
I'm going to tap 1 to sacrifice it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
See, when I first saw this card previewed, I thought in my head, you jump to a conclusion on a thing. I thought it was any source that you could sacrifice. And like pump him up with prowess and then kill the player out of nowhere. But it's creature or Planeswalker.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
I know.
Otherwise, I'd be dead right now.
That'd be so cool.
As it stands, I'm still down to 2.
Okay.
What turn are we on? Is this turn 4 or turn 12? I don't know because this is an awfully quick getting me down to 2 sort of thing. So.
Okay.
Is there anything? Oh, this dies.
That dies.
Is there anything else you'd like to do to me? Do you have another shock? Because that ends
no more shock, but there's always next turn. Okay. I don't think there are more than 2 shocks in a Planeswalker deck.
So it's my turn?
It's your turn, sir.
Okay. Well. Alrighty. So I'm going to play Planes. I am going to... I'm going to tap for 3. No, I'm going to tap for 4. I'm going to do the math correctly. I'm going to bring out a Sigiled Contender, which we saw before. So right now it's just a 3/3 body. I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw. Okay. That's juicy. Okay, so we're going to go to combat.
Okay. Swinging with both of them.
Swing with both of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to block them both. I'm going to put the Contender in front of the 2/2. I'm going to put Hope in front of the 1/3.
Okay. I'm going to tap 2.
Okay.
To cast Sure Strike.
Sure Strike. Okay.
So target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike to end a turn. So I'm going to cast that on my Hellfire Emulator.
Okay.
So it's going to hit Prowess, which will... He's got first strike, so it doesn't really matter, but it's going to make him a 3/3 and then a 6/3.
Yes.
No trample.
No trample.
Keyword. Nothing really happens to him, but he doesn't need anything to happen.
No, he's still going to kill that.
Yeah.
So oh no, they're going to bounce. This is no,
because he's got 1 power. He's got 1 power.
Okay, so they're just going to bounce off each other then. Oh, he's got 1 toughness. He's got 1 toughness.
Yes,
That's right.
yes,
I forgot.
he has
He's not a 2/2. He's
yeah.
a 2/1. So wishful
He ain't
thinking.
no bear.
Wishful thinking does not make him bounce. So this dies.
That dies.
My other creature dies. Both your creatures live. So I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to tap 1 post-combat for the Blister Split Gremlin, which at the very least, over 2 turns, without haste and no other non-creature shenanigans, will get you, good sir.
It'll get me.
Put all the blockers up in the world you want. Pass 2.
Pass
3 land, by the way. I mean, I haven't won anything yet, but 3 land, by the way.
Okay. I'm going to play a Plains. And I'm going to tap for 1 and bring out the Anointed Chorister, which we saw before, has lifelink. I'm going to tap for 4 and bring out the Sigil Commander, which we saw just a second ago before he hit the graveyard. So I do have 2 creatures up.
Come on, man.
I'm going to pass the turn out to you.
Come on, man. Could it be at 2 life? I'm
Just hanging on. I'm 1 shock away. That's all it is. It's just a simple shock away. Hey, you got another land now.
I do.
That's good for you. Because you were really hurting before.
I was. Not so much, but when do you do that again? Oh, you're not that impressive, though. Lifelink. Lifelink could still, like... Because no matter what... See, I don't have a non-creature spell. I don't.
You're pretty honest about that there.
Well, because if I did, I'd kill you right now.
I know. It's not like you could really block
You're
it.
tapped out mana-wise.
Unless
Nothing
you're-
there
yeah.
sacrificed to gain life. I would gun you down. I tap it sideways, gangster rat. I'd gun you down with those 2 life. But... Because you need 1 mana to cast his ability.
I mean, you still have me
I
at
know.
the beginning of your next turn, most likely. Possibly.
Possibly, but lifelink. No, because you could even tack into me regardless. Even if he dies, you get that 1 life back, and it's like 1 more turn.
We'll see.
He dies. But then you play another creature. It's weird to see myself in this.
It's tough, man.
By the way, I probably should back it to 20, I think.
Are you? Yeah, I don't think you've done. I don't think I've done anything to you. So your life on screen, your life total has been 20 the entire time. But yeah.
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Because if I attack with all 3, you can block and in theory kill some stuff. I am going to give it a turn by tapping 3 for Pyroceratops. He's a 2/3 dinosaur with trample, and whenever I cast a non-creature spell, put a +1 counter on him.
You're tapping 4 to do that.
Tapping 4 because
Yeah.
he's a 4 mana thing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't. Like, it's
Yeah.
either that or that. I ping you for 1. You get that 1 back anyway, no matter what with lifelink, even if you basically choose to throw the creature into anything. So I'm banking on going a little bit wider, having a mana to maybe do something, and maybe drawing a shock.
Yeah.
Or any non-creature spell.
I think I'm in trouble. I'm pretty sure.
You're in trouble. There's no doubt. 0-2-2-0. That's the life total we're looking at. But I could top deck a land.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is true too.
you're still in trouble then,
Yeah,
but you've bought another turn, I
Yeah.
think. So I'm skipping past combat because I don't have any non-creature spells. I would have played that and you would have known anyway, so it wasn't giving away much information.
So it's my turn?
And there would have been unfavorable trades, at least one of them. So yes, it's your turn. Big explanation. Big drum. It feels dramatic. I'm just... With lifelink, I still feel this is my game to lose at this point.
I'm going to play a Plains.
Cards in hand?
1 card in hand.
One card in hand.
Okay, so... Yeah. I mean, I have to do this because I don't have any choice. Because otherwise, end turn, you tap that and...
I can't.
you can't because you don't have the mana for it. That's right.
Ooh, hard choice now on you, right? What do you do? Do you give me 1 more turn? Like
I'm
I gave you one?
gonna swing in with the Anointed Chorister.
Anointed Chorister.
Yeah.
So, I am going to potentially run into a blocker or a combat trick, but I am going to put the Pyreling there.
Okay. Now, remember, it's got a built-in ability.
You're going to attempt a bunch of mana into it?
Yeah, and then it gets +3/+3.
Oh, so much lifelink. +3/+3, it would still...
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that's something to worry about.
You're saying don't do it.
No, I'm not saying don't do it.
Okay, so... I didn't really know he had a life ability. I thought it was something different.
No, well, because the thing is, I read him off last game, but I didn't read him off this time, so I didn't want to... I felt it was unfair not to bring that up.
Because no matter what now, he's tapped. So is that as far as blockers
he
go?
is committed to combat. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's one less blocker. He dumps his mana into doing that, then he's less likely to be able to play a second blocker. But he does get a lot more life, but then I have a lot more... You know what, Ed? You talked me out of it.
Okay, so you're not going to block?
I should theoretically have to block, but I'm not going to block.
Okay, so I'm going to tap 5 in total and make it a 4/4. So damage goes through. You take 4, so at the very least you're taking some damage.
Yeah, I drop down to 16.
I go back up to 6.
I'm to 26. Down to 16.
And I'm going to pass the turn now to you. So I've got 1 left up.
Okay. What are the cards here? All right. So...
Those 3.
Those 3.
Okay, so I can't not block. It's just a matter of what I'm going to block. Now, the thing is, if you have a non-creature spell in your hand, it's over no matter what. Because no matter how I block, it's going to go bad for me. So the best I can do is, this is going to become, those are both going to become 3/3s. I would take 6. That would possibly, so no matter what, it's not looking good for the good guy here. So I'm going to put this in front of that and hope that you do not have a non-creature spell. Travis?
Okay. Go to damage.
Go to damage? Okay. So I take 3?
3 damage.
3 damage in total. Okay.
I lose my trample guy.
All right. So I'm down to 3. And this guy lives, but he's got 2 damage on him.
Yeah. So this only deals damage to each opponent. I could want to sacrifice him, but I don't think that's quite the right call just yet. Although I do want to get blockers out of the way. That kind of, I think that classifies as diminishing returns. I guess I'll just do this. Doesn't really do anything now. I could wait till my end step and do it.
So ping me for 2?
Yep, ping me for 1.
But ping me for 1, yes. So I'm down to 2. So I'm down to 2. That's where I got the 2 from.
Now, next turn, I could be looking at a lot of lifelink because you could pump him and potentially play something to give him +1 counter. But I can wait until something else, whatever. Like, I don't have it. Otherwise, I would have played it. I don't have it. Otherwise, I would have played pretty much anything. And if I end up getting something next turn that needs an extra land, I could have played anyway because I would have gone land. Your turn.
My turn? Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to lose this game because I've run out of... Last time was the exact opposite. Too many non-creature spells, creatures.
I'm going to play a Plains. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm just going to swing in with the Chorister.
Okay.
And pre-damage, I'm going to sink 5 mana into him and make him or her. Make the Chorister a 4/4.
So I dropped to 12.
I'm back up to 6 again.
I don't like this pattern one bit, sir.
And I pass the turn now to you.
I'm on now. I don't really care what you are. You could be like an artifact at this point. You just don't be a land. When the game's in hand and the card you play is going to win you said game, there's really no point in bluffing because you're either going to play that card or not. But each time I'm going to lose a creature. Whatever. I'm not going to.
Okay.
Pass to you.
Pass to me? Okay. But now you have blockers up. Now you have a lot
so
of
I don't forget.
Okay. And then draw. Okay.
Lifelink. I made that call early. Lifelink is going to just punt me.
I'm going to play a Plains. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with the Chorister again.
It's those 1/1s with the a tap ability, Okay, so if I triple block, even if you pump him up, he comes a 4/4. That is just enough damage, but then you can kill a lot of my board. But that is what I'm going to do because...
Triple block? Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to pump it for... make sure I'm doing the right... 5. So it becomes a 4/4.
So, when would I have to... I can do it right now and it's still going to...
Yep.
Okay, so I'll do that, tap 1, and tap it. I can still tap it as a blocker, because that's allowed, to deal 1 damage to you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order... I'm going to block, or going to assign damage, and then that's third.
Okay, so 1,
3, and then that's going to take nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I take 1 damage from that.
Yeah.
And damage goes through. Those 2 are going to die.
Yes, sir, they are.
I'm going to gain 4.
Yeah, you are.
So I go up to 9.
At least that guaranteed lifelinker is gone.
And that hits the bin, and now I've got just a 3/3. Pass the turn to you.
But life totals are a lot more closer now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been lucky that you've been flooding out. So, God.
At least that guy does not have lifelink, so we can still make it a little bit evener without you just gaining 4 life each turn.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. 2/2 does not beat 3/3. But I dare you to attack me on your turn.
So my turn. Okay.
Yeah. Come at me, bro. No way I can hit you for 9 out of nowhere, right?
I'm going to play a Plains. Now, I have been flooding kind of too, so, I mean, there is that. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in with the Sigiled Contender.
I have 0 blockers in mind.
Okay, so take 3.
Drop down to an even 9/9.
I'm going to pay 2 and bring out another Adherent of Hope. Saw it before, so it only really triggers when Basari's in play. And pass turn to you.
Okay.
We're tied in life totals now.
Chandra, just make an appearance. No. I'll tap 2 for Chandra's Pyroling.
It's a creature. It is a creature.
So, I mean, I go to combat, I trade at best. He probably would take the trade because of the prowess. I think he'd take the trade. No, I think because I have such potential if I draw into even like the most simplest of spells. So I'm gonna pass to you.
Okay. So we're both hellbent right now.
Yeah. It should be more in my favor, you'd think, but it's gotta read it. It's gotta read it. The last thing I want him to do is read that card. You don't read boring land cards, you play them.
Okay. So I'm going to...
There's so many ways to put +1 counters in that deck.
I'm going to tap for 4. And I'm going to cast Basari's Aegis.
That would be one of them.
It's a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. I may search my library and or graveyard for a card named Basri, Devoted Paladin, reveal it, and put it into my hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. So this is the tutor card for it. So I'm going to put +1/+1 counters on the Contender and Hope here. And the Contender now has lifelink because it has a +1/+1 counter. I'm then going to search for... Now, this time I noticed that the Planeswalkers were actually pretty flat, but let me give it a shot because I think it's one of the top 2. No, it's not. Okay.
We can do that.
There we go. So at the very least, we are going to get to read off Basri here. Basri, Devoted Paladin, costs 4 and 2 white. It's a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. The +1 is put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. It gains vigilance until the end of turn. The -1 is whenever a creature attacks this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. The -6 is creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain flying until the end of turn. So there we go. But he is going to go into my hand and not onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
So we're doing special rules for our cutting. So
Boom.
Okay, there we go.
Hands off.
Hands off. Yes. No touching each other's cards. This goes into my hand, and I don't think I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does cost 6, so I'm just shy. I am going to move to combat, though.
Okay. Now they got counters, and they're big bad boys.
I'm going to... I'm going to swing in with them both. I'm going to get... No. Yeah, I'm going to... No, I'm just going to swing in with... I'm just going to swing in...
Double strike.
I'm just going to swing in with the Sigiled Contender. So it's a 4/4 with lifelink.
Lifelink. There's no point in trying to double block because I lose both my... Well, I don't lose one, but... Because he's got a big butt. So this round, I'm going to take 4.
And I'm going to gain 4, so I'm up to 13.
Drop down to 5. I'm hoping for some insane top deck that I don't think exists in this deck. Especially with you got your Planeswalker coming down next turn regardless. I can't imagine you would pull something with that much mana that would say, I don't want to cast my Planeswalker.
You never know. I will pass the turn now to you, though.
Okay. What's in this deck? Well, that's a common, but...
You had to read it.
Where were you 10 minutes ago? Tapping for 3. To play the Stormcaller, Ogre Shaman. When he enters the battlefield, he deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Oh, no!
If you recall, there was a moment ago, 10 minutes ago or so in the game, that he was at 2 and I was at 20. Where were you, sir?
So I go down to 11 from 13.
Not even a non-creature. 0 prowess triggers. However, he does now have double strike because a source I controlled did non-combat damage to a player.
Yes, indeed.
So he's now a 2/3 double striker.
Mm-hmm.
So if I attack, yes, he would win that exchange. With 11 life total, I don't think even taking 4 that you would block. But I'm not going to block myself, so I might as well, whatever, I'm attacking.
Okay. Now, this only still has 2 toughness, so if I do block that, the double strike will kill it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not going to block. I'm just going to take the 4 damage in total.
Yeah.
So 2 on first strike, and then an additional 2, so I'm down to 7.
So I did that turn. Pass back to you.
Back to me. Okay, I'm going to...
And the thing is, the second he's really become a threat, I don't think there's been a chance where I've been able to buff him enough to actually sacrifice him to kill him. I don't think I've had a
no, not. Been out. I think this one at one point you would have but previously when it was out. But yeah, I'm going to tap for 6, and I'm going to bring up Basri, which I read off before, so I'm not going to read them off again. I'm going to. I mean, there's different ways I can do this, but...
Both are good in your favor.
I'm just going to -1 him to 3. So whenever a creature attacks this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I'm then going to move to combat. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control Basri Planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on the Adherent of Hope. So that's going to get a +1/+1 counter. I'm going to swing in with both of them, which is going to trigger the Planeswalker loyalty ability, so they're each additionally going to get another +1/+1 counter. So right now, Adherent of Hope is a 5/4, and Sigiled Contender is a lifelinking 5/5.
So I can't even double block a single one because I have exactly 5, so I'm going to have to chump on both and top deck a Miracle card.
Okay, so damage goes through. I gain 5, so I'm back up to 12.
Both my Stormcaller and my Emulator.
My Basri is naked and exposed. I'm just going to play the land that I have in my hand.
Actually, I could have done that differently. I could have actually sacrificed them after the blocks to have killed one, but
I know would have stopped the damage from going through.
Yeah, there's no trample. I would have killed one of them, I think, but
yeah, dude, that would have worked because damage. Because you pre-damage. One of them would have considered blocks, so damage wouldn't have gone through, and he would have been the life linker as well too. So it could have prevented me from gaining 5 life as well too. We can roll that back if that's how you want to play it.
No, because there's just information next time someone's playing the exact scenario. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
But this is what I missed.
So walking it back, what Travis could have done. I'm not doing this to rub it in. I'm just doing it to try to.
No. I brought it up.
What he could have done is he could have blocked
as I did.
Yeah, and then pre-damage, sacrifice that. Correct.
Yeah.
Pay 1. Do 2 damage to this. This creature would have already been considered blocked, so no damage would have gone through. No damage would have been done by it. I would not have gained 5 life.
Yeah.
This would have had 2 damage already on it. They would have done combat damage to each other, and they would have killed each other. So you still lost both your creatures, but it would have left me 5 less health and 1 creature, just with 1 creature on the board.
Yeah. Which isn't going to matter, but I'll laugh if I pull some Miracle card, which deals damage to you and then buffs his toughness. So that 7 would have been the magic number.
I mean, it's still possible that you have cards that could come out of nowhere.
But I need 2 cards, really. 1 to buff him and 1 to do damage to you. That's why it's a neat with him. Usually whenever you cast non-creature spell, but this one specifies you have to deal damage to the player, and then you get the double strike, and then you want something else to buff his actual toughness.
But I do have Basri naked and exposed here, so I will pass the turn to you.
He's the least of my concerns. It was your life total I was ferociously gnawing at. Chandra! No, but... I'll tap 3 to get another Stormcaller out.
Okay.
I'm not going down like that, yo.
No. Oh.
So he will bing you for 2, which ironically does. Hang on a second here. Oh, you would have had 1.
Yeah.
You would have had 1, which still...
So I'm down to 10 now. Take 2 from the Stormcaller.
He now once again has, but next turn, I'm going to need 2 blockers like last time. Now, I don't have one that can be sacrificed anymore, but I will hang in there for 1 more turn and pass 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been funny. We've been down to 1, if my math is right there, because that would have been 4 damage double striking and no blockers.
Okay. What I'm going to do this time is actually going to +1 Basri. So he was at 3, so he's going to be back up to 4. To put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature, it gains vigilance until the end of turn. So I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on the Sigiled Contender, and it's going to gain vigilance. I'm going to move to combat, but so once combat starts, this is going to get a +1/+1 counter because of its natural ability when Basari's on the battlefield. And so it's a 6/5 and a 6/6. This has got lifelink and vigilance right now, and they're both swinging in.
Vigilance and lifelink is killer. Alright, so I'm obviously blocking because I have no choice.
Okay.
So they'll both die. You do gain 6 life.
Yes, I gained 6, so back up to 16. And I'm going to pass the turn to you again.
Come on, you get something interesting. Is there a board wipe? No. No. I will adamant by spending 3 mana to deal 4 damage to you with the Slaying Fire. Slaying Fire deals 3 damage to any target. However, if at least 3 mana of red type was spent, it deals 4 damage.
Okay, so I'm taking 4.
I should
So I'm down to 12. 12 has been a magic number for me for multiple times in the game.
Do your worst, sir.
Okay.
Because it didn't have any power, and even 4 wasn't
I could have
enough.
been a real jerk there, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to play Planes. I'm going to move. I'm just going to move to combat.
Okay, fair enough.
And I can swing it with both of them. What I was thinking of doing is because I had Swift Response, destroy target tab creature, I was going to cast it on the one tab creature I had just to get rid of it. But that is such a dick move. But yeah, so there we go.
I'm glad turn 2 or game 2's turned out to show a lot more what this deck can do.
Yeah, I was 1 non-creature spell away from losing that on turn 4, I think it was. So
he was back after that. Where's my?
It was very, very close.
Now I'm like, I would have got you down to 1 in theory if I'd played it differently, and if I had a blister spit, but no, I needed that blister spit gremlin to kill off that 4/4 lifelinker that was killing me earlier. Like, it was a game that I definitely could have made 1 or 2 better choices, but I don't think there would have been a huge difference.
Yeah, once the lifelink got turned on, I mean, if there was, I'm sure people in the comment section will have pointed out how that could have gone differently. But Travis, thank you so much for coming out again. This has been great. I haven't had a chance to do this with you in months and months and months. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we go?
No.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching.
I mean, we could do like a 20-minute complaint about the way too many Magic the Gathering products, but
we talked about that before we started the game. Yeah. But I would like to say that if those of you who have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I've been adding some new content to the channel. I'm currently doing a Let's Play of a game called Green Hell, which is a survival game. There is going to be more of that. There's also going to be more non-Magic games that are going to be played similar to that on the channel. But the Mana Cave is still here. So if this is what you came for, and I know a lot of you did, then enjoy it, because this isn't really going anywhere. As long as Travis is still willing to come over and record Magic, this is still going to be part of the channel. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around. And I will talk to you all whenever I get to see you, which is probably going to be, I don't know when, because these conventions aren't going to be happening for a while. I'll see you in the next video, or you'll see me in the next video, and I'll pretend that I see you in the next video. So see you guys. Smooth, smooth outro.
Wow,
I'm totally in sync. It's like
after years of doing it, you finally really got in that zone where it's like, there's never an awkward thing you say.
I thought I'd be rusty, taking all those months off, but no, smooth.